Hello everyone. If you are dreaming of getting into the Indian Defence Forces as a commissioned officer, be it Indian Navy, Army or the Air Force, then don't forget to subscribe to our channel SSB Gentlemen. In today's video, we will be discussing what all are the probable questions in the interview regarding the place. Now by place I mean this place can be the place of your maximum residence, the place you belong to, that is your native place, or maybe the place you have come for your SSB, right? I will be telling you how in a holistic manner you can answer this question. I will be discussing one by one all the elements that you can mention in your answer for a very general question that tell me something about, let's say, the place of your residence, right? Now let me mention here one thing, that if he has asked you, he or she, whosoever is the interviewer, he has asked you that tell me something about the place, then you have to mention each and everything in a holistic manner. But if the question is very specific, for example, he has asked that tell me the population of your place, that then you have to be limited to that very question only, right? So let's start. First of all, you should be knowing that the place whatever you belong to. For example, I belong to a place named Nalagarh. You should be knowing which district, which state, and the estimated population of the place of your residence, right? After this, come to the geographical features. Tell him about the terrain of your place. Either it is hilly, coastal, plain, or maybe a plateau. After that, you can tell about different features. For example, there are river valleys, there are some ponds, lakes. These things can also be mentioned. Other than this, you can tell him about the flora and fauna of your place. For example, you belong to a place where some endangered species are found, so obviously you can proudly tell about them, that in your place these species are preserved. You can also tell about the national parks and the biosphere reserves at your place. So this whole thing comes in your geographical features of your very place, right? Then coming to the historical features or the historical background of your place, you can tell about the religious history. For example, if you belong to let's say Amritsar, you should be knowing about the Golden Temple, the history behind it, and that how it was brought into being. Other than this, if you belong to say Varanasi, you should be knowing about the temples and the deities whosoever are worshipped there, right? Other than the religious history, you should be knowing about the political history as well. For example, you belong to some very famous place, let's say Ahmedabad or Gandhinagar, then you should be knowing about Gandhi ji as well, his different satyagrahas, for example the Khadi movement and your Dandi March and all. So these things you should be knowing briefly, not just briefly, I would say in a bit detail, because this is the place you belong to, so you have spent a good amount of time there. So yes, you should be knowing all these things in detail. So after covering your geography, your history, let's come to some specialties of your place. Now, specialities can be related to food. For example, every state, not just every state, every local district has its own specialty regarding to cuisine. For example, in Punjab, if we talk about, everyone will tell you about the saag and makki ki roti, lassi, dal makhani, all these things. If you go to South India, you will be told about the dosas, the utpams, the idlis. If you go to Gujarat, you will be told about the khakra, fafda and all these stuff. So you should be knowing about the food, the cuisines found in that very place. Other than this, the art and culture. If any famous paintings or other handicrafts are there in your place, you should be knowing about them. Talking about the culture, the different folk dances, different folk singings, I would say, you should be knowing about all these things. And yes, the famous dresses as well. Every place has a folk dress of its own. You should be knowing about them as well. For example, if you talk about Punjab itself, there the ladies, they traditionally used to wear salwar suit or the ghagra suits, right? And the men, they used to wear the kurta pajamas or the chadra kurtas. And similarly, if you talk about the Himachal, here the men, they used to wear Himachali topi and all these things. मतलब जो भी वहाँ पे स्पेसिफिक स्पेशलिटीज हैं, that you should be knowing, right? of your place. Other than this, you should be knowing about some famous personalities if any exist from your place. For example, if you're from Rameshwaram, you should be knowing about APJ, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. Okay, you should be knowing about his history, how he grew and what all difficulties he faced in his life and what you learned from him. Okay, and not just the political celebrities, I would say you should be knowing about the historical names. For example, as I talked about Gandhi ji, if you are from a village, say in Punjab, you should be knowing about Bhagat Singh as well. You should be knowing about Lala Lajpat Rai as well. So all these things are important to tell in your interview. Not just these personalities, I would say have a good knowledge about the personalities from the defense. For example, if you belong from Palampur, you should be knowing about Captain Vikram Batra. If you are from Ludhiana, you should be knowing about Flying Officer Nirmaljeet Singh Sekhu. Okay, so all these things tell how well aware you are about your place. Okay, these were some points regarding the general view that everyone should know about his or her place. Since you are applying for the armed forces, you should be knowing about some defense related things about your place as well. For example, the nearest station, the nearest command to your place. Okay, if ever you have visited or passed by, what feelings you carried at that very moment. So in brief, you should be able to tell all these things regarding your place. So this was a brief overview that how you can construct your answer, right? He may also ask that what all challenges people face in your area and what all improvements if you are given the charge. For example, you are elected as the MLA or the Sarpanch of your place, then what changes you will be bringing. So in this type of question, you can tell about the various problems. For example, the sanitation, the traffic, roads, schooling, education of higher level, for example, the universities, the connectivity, telecom sector, anything you can mention that is suitable for your very terrain. So here I would like to add one more thing, that if you are from a tribal place, so definitely you have some things extra to tell about which we as a civilians rarely know, right? So you should be mentioning about your specialties, your food, your culture, how you are dependent upon your nature, right? And all your festivities, all these things you should be able to tell. These were some of the important points that you people have to keep in mind while mentioning the place, be it your native place, your place of maximum residence, or the place you are applying for your SSB. Other than this, I have an Instagram channel as well, where on daily basis we practice the TAT, the VAT. I will also post the gist of this very video in a slide format on my page as well. You can save it for the future use also, and obviously you can share it with your co-aspirants there. Okay, other than this, yeah, like, share and subscribe. Thank you so much for giving your time.